Hi guys, it's me, Megan. Okay, so I talked to you guys previously about the program that I'm doing, which I originally got started on through thingenius.com. Josie Spinardi is the name of the lady who runs the website. She's got an audiobook that I would really recommend. I've downloaded it. It's great. I would really recommend it if you're interested in what I'm going to tell you about. I would definitely recommend it because it's great. Anywho, okay, hold on. I need to make a quick adjustment here. Okay, I would definitely recommend it because her program is based primarily on hunger-directed eating or intuitive eating. Now, before I found her website or her YouTube channel accidentally, I had never really heard of intuitive eating except for the obvious eat when you're hungry, stop when you're full type of thing that we know exists, but I'd never heard it like being taught as a program or as a way to eat. So that was kind of a really new discovery for me, and it really hit home when I started watching her YouTube video. And I will put her YouTube channel in the down bar so that you guys can check that out. But when I started watching her videos, they really hit home with me. A lot of the things she was saying, I could really think, oh my gosh, I've totally been there, or I've totally thought that. So since it was ringing so true with me, I checked out her website, I bought her audiobook, and I'm really glad that I did. I listened to it in the car actually on the way to and from work and got it knocked out in just a few days, and it was very, very helpful. So, and sometimes still when I'm like, you know, not really feeling it, or, you know, I just kind of need to pick me up, sometimes I'll pop that in and listen to it again, and it kind of reinforces the things that I'm learning. So, hunger-directed eating. That's what her first audiobook is based on. It does not have to do with emotional eating. I mean, it does sort of in parts, but it sort of is meant to just teach you how to eat intuitively, how to eat like our bodies were designed to eat. In other words, you eat when you're hungry and you stop when you're full because that's your body telling you how much food you need. You don't eat when you've had a rough day at work, you know, when you're annoyed with your husband, when your kids are being difficult, you know, when your neighbor parks their car in your driveway and pisses you off, you know, random things like that that happen in real life that send people like me to the refrigerator looking for some sort of emotional crutch. It doesn't really deal with that except in the periphery, but it does teach you the basics of how to start listening to your body, which I really was not doing. I don't know if I ever really did it except maybe when I was a baby, but you know, her program talks about how from a young age we're conditioned to think of food not as energy but as something, you know, all the way back to the doctor's office. You get a shot, so now you get a lollipop, or, you know, you fall and hurt your knee, so let me give you an ice cream. I mean, it starts from a really young age, and I think a lot of people experience that as food being a way to comfort yourself, a way to relieve pain, physical and emotional, and just kind of distract yourself. So this kind of takes her book, and this whole hunger-directed eating thing kind of takes you right back to the core of eating and teaches you how to do it by listening to your body and following what it says instead of completely ignoring it and being out of touch with it. So, step one, this is just going to be kind of a general overview video. I really don't want to get it, you know, make videos too long, because I know when you see a 20-minute video on YouTube, sometimes it's a little daunting to sit down and look at the whole thing, but I wanted to do a quick brief overview so that you guys could figure out what it's about a little bit and see if you're interested in pursuing a similar program. So step one of hunger-directed eating is to eat when you're physically hungry. So you really have to listen to your body on this one. For me, it was kind of hard to tell when I was hungry until I was really, really starving. That kind of like, oh my God, if I don't eat right now, I'm going to pass out, or I'm so hungry I could just eat whatever. Everything sounds good to me. At first, when I first started doing this, I waited to be hungry like that. And then over time, I've kind of figured out when I start getting hungry. And she says that it feels differently for every kind of different for every kind of person, but her general way of determining whether you're truly physically hungry is that hunger comes from the stomach. It kind of is like a centrally located, you know, on your tummy area, whereas head hunger or emotional hunger stems more from up here. I guess I'm not really doing a great job of explaining this. She does way better, obviously. She's the one with the book. So you should check that out. But I would say, for me personally, over time, I started to, you know, pay attention to when I got to that really, really, really hungry place. What about like an hour before that? How was I feeling? Or an hour before that, how was I feeling? And slowly I've been able to dial back on the hunger to where I can eat when I'm hungry. And I know that I'm physically hungry, but I'm not like starving to the point of, oh my God, I have to eat whatever I can get my hands on. So it's eat when you're truly hungry. So not when you're passing by a plate of brownies at work and suddenly you just have to have one. That's what she calls head hunger. That is not physical hunger. So not eating then, just eating when you're physically hungry. Okay, so step 2 of her program is eat what you really, really want. And she says in her book that this can be the most intimidating one of all, since most of us who have been dieting or had weight problems have forbidden foods or bad foods or foods that we've somehow categorized in the I shouldn't have them area, you know, like ice cream, cookies, candy, pizza, whatever your food is. We all have one that when you eat it, you kind of tell yourself in your head, oh, you're being so bad, or oh, this is so terrible, you're gonna have to make up for this tomorrow. So you're supposed to take all of those foods out of the bad foods category and take all the foods out of the good foods category and mash them all into one. It's just food, and whatever it is you're hungry for is what you're supposed to eat. So if you feel like eating ice cream and that's what you're really craving, she says to go ahead and sit down and eat ice cream. Now, she says that you will go through what's called a donuts and Dorito phase. That's what she calls it anyway, which kind of cracks me up, which is that when you finally let go of all of the I can't have this, I can't have that kind of attitude or that mentality, for a while there, your body is going to crave those foods because it hasn't been able to have it reliably in so long. So, but that is short-lived. It definitely was where I'm concerned, or, you know, where I was concerned. I didn't have a long period where I was just eating complete crap all the time. But I did, if I was really craving something and I was hungry, I did go ahead and eat it. So that is meant to retrain yourself to listen to what you're hungry for. It does even out. You're not going to just eat chocolate chip cookies every meal for the rest of your life. So anyway, so that is the second step, is eat what you really, really want. So step 3 is sit down, be present, and enjoy your food. That one was a big one for me. A huge one. I have kids and I'm in a rush all the time, it seems, and I had a real tendency to eat in front of the TV late at night because I didn't want to sit down earlier, or eating at the sink, eating while I'm walking around the kitchen, eating in front of the computer, eating in the car on the way to go somewhere. I mean, and I really wasn't enjoying my food. So I guess part of eating there is an emotional satisfaction. I mean, even when you're hungry, you know, if it's winter time and it's really cold outside, you know, you might want a bowl of chili, or you might want some piping hot macaroni and cheese, or whatever wintertime comfort food there is. And there is an emotional satisfaction to be had there. But you have to sit down and pay attention to your food to receive that satisfaction. And so I think what I was doing a lot of times was I was like snacking while I was cooking dinner, I was eating at the sink or eating in the car or whatever, where I was actually eating, but I wasn't present in the moment. I didn't pay attention. This is so delicious. You know, I didn't get that satisfaction. So even though I was physically full, I was still craving that like satisfied feeling that you get after a really good meal, but I wasn't ever getting it because I wasn't ever sitting down and paying attention. So one of the tips that she gives in her book that has really, really worked for me is to pick one eating spot in your house, 2 max, but 1 really, and only eat there. So do not eat in front of the television, do not eat in front of the computer, do not eat at the sink. You have to literally sit down at the table and eat. Don't eat off a napkin. You know, get yourself out an actual plate. She says make eating an experience, and I definitely, I mean, after trying this, I have to agree that not to eat off a paper plate with your hand, you know, while you kind of slurp down whatever, or, you know, to really like put down a plate, put down a napkin, put out some silverware, get yourself a glass and drink whatever it is you're wanting to drink, and really actually sit down and enjoy your meal in that one space. That cuts down on a lot of mindless eating, and for me, it's sort of been like a deterrent from emotional eating, because if I wanted to emotionally eat, I knew I had to invest the time and energy in going to the table, going to the kitchen, making what I wanted to eat, putting it on a plate, sitting down at the table, only eating at the table, which takes a lot of the allure away. I mean, if I can't just get it, grab it, and go sit in front of the TV and mindlessly munch on it, you know, then it's not as attractive to me. So that rule really, really, really helped. Yeah, really helped, because I'm busy and I have a lot of things that I want to do, or if I want to sit in front of the TV and relax, I don't want to take the time away from that, or whatever it is that I want to do, and go invest the time in sitting at the table and eating if I'm not really hungry. So anyway, just a tip. Okay, so step 4 is stop when you're stop when you're comfortably satisfied. That is a hard one. Sometimes I still struggle with that. I'm learning. Just like I had to learn when I was hungry, or what that felt like, I still am working on learning what comfortably satisfied feels like. The way she describes it is when you could have more, but you're satisfied. A lot of times I do really well at that. I've been really, really shocked to see how much food, when I'm sitting there paying attention and eating when I'm hungry, how little food it takes to actually satisfy me. So that's been a pleasant surprise. So that's that step. You just have to kind of practice at it. I'm practicing. It's paying off. The pants I talked about in my previous video are fitting looser, so this is a plus. Okay, so step number 5 is pay attention after you eat to how the food makes you feel. Because I guess that sort of helps with, you know, your initial cravings of, I want to eat cookies all the time for every meal. If you start to pay attention to how cookies make you feel, like if you eat a lunch of chocolate chip cookies in the middle of the afternoon at work, then the rest of the afternoon you're probably going to have a blood sugar spike, you're going to have a blood sugar dive, you're going to be starving by 3 o'clock, fake hunger, you know, it's just going to be your body telling you you're low on blood sugar. You're going to be distracted, you might be sleepy, it just kind of makes you feel like crap. So the next time lunch rolls around, and you're tempted, or you think about eating chocolate chip cookies, instead of thinking, oh my gosh, luscious chocolate chip cookies, that's all I really want to eat, then if you pay attention to how food makes you feel, the next time you encounter that food that would have previously been a temptation, you'll think, oh my gosh, when I ate that I really felt like crap. And slowly but surely this really does work to move foods from the, oh my god, I really want that category, to the, I'm going to skip that, I don't really want that. Because I have noticed that certain foods just don't make me feel good, especially eating sugar at work, lots of sugar. We had a birthday, you know, celebration, post-lunch cake celebration type thing for one of my coworkers not too long ago, and her favorite pie was key lime pie, so that is what was bought. So anyway, key lime pie was her favorite pie, so that's what was bought. So I had 2 bites of the key lime pie, and I noticed I was just feeling like jittery, hot. I started getting hot. I was not feeling good. So I only ate the 2 bites of the pie. I pushed the rest of the way. I wasn't depressed, or I didn't feel deprived or whatever. I wasn't disappointed at not eating the rest of the pie. Whereas if I had tried to, before I tried all of this, or this program, if I had tried to take 2 bites of that pie and push it away, the rest of the time I was sitting there, I would be like, oh my god, someone take this pie, I really want to eat that pie, I really want to eat that pie, and it would just have taken up all of my mental energy. So anyway, I hope that this has not turned out too long. We'll see once I edit it. But that is kind of a general intro to hunger-directed eating. I'll do more information on this as time goes by, like little topic by little topic, to try to break it down some more. But anyway, hope this has been helpful to you guys, and I will see you soon. Bye!